Guys, welcome back to another video. Bitch, this is the first video I'm filming back home in my old room. It definitely looks different, but we have Big Daddy here. That's his name. He's actually a he. So today's video is going to be a girl talk video. I asked you guys to submit topics and questions and we're just going to be going over them. Before we get started, a word from our sponsor. Hey guys, so before we continue with today's video, I wanted to thank our sponsor, which is Honeyplaybox. Honeyplaybox is an online adult website that has so many different products, and the product I wanted to show you guys today is their rotating head vibrator. This is called the Joy. It's so cute. It comes in multiple different colors, but I got orange. It's USB chargeable. It comes with a charger as well as an instruction manual. So this is a dual vibrator. So basically this goes in and this is supposed to replicate a tongue. So you can basically have like a 2-in-1 experience. I bet your boyfriend can't do that. Yeah, so you can see like how this would be a good time. This has 7 different vibrating patterns for each part. So 7 here and 7 here. That's different speeds and just different sensations, different intensities. This is also waterproof and made out of body safe silicone. It's USB chargeable and you can use this for an hour straight without having to recharge it. Like you could literally have it on for a full hour. That's like amazing. I think Honeyplaybox is a really cool website because they were founded by sex educators, lesbian meme queens as they say, and sex toy connoisseurs. So I feel like they're really providing good products for a variety of different interests, for different likes. You know, we're all so different and there's not one specific way that should look or feel. And I just feel like you can explore your body, your own body so much with yourself or with a partner using toys. Their products arrive very discreetly. When I got this, I had no idea what it even was going to be. So that's a plus if you live with people or you just don't want people in your business. And their philosophy is all about exploration and just moving past the shame that so many people have and that society really instills in us, especially women, around sex. So I would definitely recommend you guys check them out. I feel like they're really in alignment with my values and it's like treat yourself, you know? I talked about this in another video, but I feel like the topic of celibacy has been kind of trendy lately, at least in the TikToks that come up on my For You page. And I've talked about it a little on my podcast, but not in like a purity culture, like sex is bad way. It's nice to have toys to get the job done when you don't want to participate in hookup culture. The orgasm gap still exists. And with toys like this, we can get the job done ourselves. So I believe I have a code for you guys, so I will link them down below. But yeah, you guys should definitely check out Honeyplaybox. Thank you so much to them for sponsoring today's video. So on brand, and let's continue on with the rest of the video. Everyone comment your beverage of the day down below. I'm having a plain LaCroix. My dad made me get plain. Like I really like the lime ones because it kind of tastes like a beverage, like a special beverage, but it's like not. But he was like, no, we might need them to mix, so let's get plain. And I mean, it's like fine, but like, not gonna lie, I feel a little uncomfortable filming videos back home. Like I'm not like in the flow yet. I don't know how I used to do this all the time, but I just feel like the walls are so thin and everyone can hear everything I'm saying. So it's so like awkward. Whatever, we'll get past it. I really haven't looked at what you guys submitted yet, so we're just gonna take a gander. Thoughts on the girl being taller in the relationship. As you guys know, I am definitely a tall queen. I really don't feel tall. I feel like everyone's short. Like to me, a tall girl is like someone over 5'11". I'm like 5'8", like a little over 5'8". I sound like a bro. I say I'm 5'9", just so I seem taller to bros. This is the thing, I made a TikTok about this and people thought it was so controversial. It's really not a make or break to me. Would I prefer a guy to be taller than me? Yes, because I feel like I'm like already tall. This is the thing, and this is my controversial TikTok I made. If you're like a short queen and then you're like, I need my guy to be over 6 foot. It's like, I feel like you have like a tall guy fetish at that point, because like you could date someone that's 5'7", 5'8", and like they're gonna be a lot taller than you still. So like, what's this obsession with a guy being over 6 foot? That's the thing. It's kind of like a meme at this point, you know, it's like funny, but then it's like, wait a second, like the average woman is I think 5'2", maybe even shorter. So why are you guys so obsessed with a guy being over 6 foot? What's it to you? I don't like a guy to be that much taller than me. Like, I don't know what the math is, what the equivalent of that for me is, but like if a guy's super tall, it's like not, it's not like my thing. Like, would I prefer you to be a little taller than me? Yes. Like, can I wear heels around you and I'm like, you're still taller than me? Like, yes. Like, I just want to feel like a dainty little feminine queen. Like, is it what patriarchy has instilled into us? Yes. But like, I've definitely talked to guys shorter than me, and that's the thing. I feel like a lot of short guys, like, not a lot, but like low-key sometimes I'm surprised at the amount of short guys that try to get at me. And then someone explained to me once that it's because they want their kids to have a chance of being tall. But yeah, that TikTok was so controversial. Like, the girls were really arguing in the comments. I didn't really think it was that controversial. They were like, all the short girls were like, well, not all of them, some of the short girls were like, sorry, I can't help that they like us. And it's like, it's not about that. It's about, and I've had friends, short friends, say like, I need a guy to be over 6 foot. It's like, why? At that point, it's ridiculous. Please, like, a guy being tall is not my fetish. It's not. Like, I just want someone a little taller than me, like reasonably, you know? Can you be friends with an ex? Why or why not? And what circumstances will allow? Okay, this is the thing. I feel like so many people try to be friends after breaking up with someone like immediately, and it's like, bro, you need time to heal. And like, I mean, I've heard it a lot from girls, like girls I've been friends with, and like, I don't know, just seeing tweets and like being in people's close friends and whatever, I don't know. People will really be like, oh, we just broke up but we're still hanging out. Yeah, he cheated on me with 8 different girls, but like we're still friends. Like, I just wanted it to be amicable. And it's like, why? Because here's the thing, like, a friend would not treat you like that. And I feel like even if it's like, oh, it wasn't some fucked up thing that like whoever, like this guy did to you, whatever, it's like, even if like things end, it's like, you need time to heal. And like, the best way to heal is through distance and space and like out of sight, out of mind. So like, unfollowing them, or at least muting them. Bro, if they do something fucked up to you, like, block them, you know? Like, block them even if it's just like, it's too much, like you're always checking up on them. Don't check their socials. I really don't think you can be friends with someone. Like, maybe down the line, if the breakup was like, you know, it's not like, oh, they did something super fucked up to you. If it was just like a amicable breakup, like, yeah, maybe down the line you guys can be friends, but like, don't try to get to that right away. Because I feel like that's just going to confuse your feelings, and like, you need time apart. Let me know what you guys think though, and have you ever been in that situation where you break up with someone and you try to be friends right away? Bro, like, stop. Do you use tampons, pads, cups, or other for your period? I want to get a cup because it's better for the environment, but it kind of scares me. I use a cup, but bro, I just saw this TikTok like last week of this girl saying it like collapsed her uterus or something because of the suction. So that's kind of scary. I've never heard of that before though, and I think people in the comments, and again, who knows if this even happened or if this was the cause of it, but people were saying as long as you like, you know, pinch the suction out of it before taking it out, it should be fine. So it's not like sucking. I've used a cup regularly since 2018 and I love it. It's so, like, you save so much money. Obviously it's better for the environment, and I'll use tampons like here and there. That's not to say I've never used a tampon since 2018, but only for like, I don't know, if I'm going out, or like sometimes with traveling, tampons can be easier because like sometimes you want to rinse out your cup but you're like in a public bathroom, so tampons can just be easier for that. But in general, I use a cup, and I've heard it's better for you as well because it collects the blood instead of absorbing it. And so many tampons, if they're not like organic cotton, contain bleach and like just harmful ingredients, and that's literally like being absorbed by your body. Pads are honestly the healthiest way to go. Like, a reusable pad is like the best. I also use reusable period underwear. I have a couple different brands, but I just like the cup with that, and I only really use those the first couple days, like with shorts and stuff. But yeah, people like make fun of girls for being scared of even tampons and like only using pads, but pads are really the healthiest option. Again, preferably an organic brand, preferably a reusable brand, but yeah, that's gonna be the best. Therapy, thoughts on it? It can be so hard. I mean, obviously therapy is so good. I wish it was more accessible for people, and it is becoming more mainstream and accepted, but I wish it was even more accepted, like, just because, I don't know, in our specific bubble, it's like more accepted about, you know, like mental health, things that used to be taboo 20 plus years ago. But still in certain communities, like, it's not accepted and like the norm, you know? It's still gonna be kind of weird, or like you're gonna be like, what's wrong with this person? Not you, but like people around you will be like that. So this was the first year I went to therapy, and I just really did not have a good experience. And that's not to say it deterred me from ever seeking therapy again, but it just kind of gave me a perspective of like, oh, like, you know, people will just say, oh, go to therapy, this person needs therapy, but and it really is a process, bro, to find the right person, and then to deal with insurance and things like that. And then like, you just have to explain so much to them. It's like, can you just like go through all my story time videos and just like kind of get a feel, you know, so I don't have to re-explain. No, but I definitely want to go back. It's just kind of like the process. Like, I'm just gonna be 100% real with you guys. The process of finding like the perfect fit for me just sounds exhausting. But yeah, if you guys have any tips, if you go to therapy and you really like your therapist, if you have any tips on how to find a good one and how you did that, where to start, let us know down below. I think I also gave some tips. I did 2 podcasts. I did a podcast with a therapist and with a life coach. I believe I asked both of them how to find a therapist. So you can check those episodes out. So if therapy is not currently accessible to you, or you just want to get started on mental health help and relief, now something I really recommend is following therapists on social media, on Instagram and on Twitter. Obviously make sure you're following someone certified and who knows what they're talking about, and not just like a random, like, I don't know, some of these coaches out here, bro, they call themselves coaches because they don't have the certification, so you gotta be careful. But there is so many free resources out there, and it is like a good place to start. You know, there's so many books and like videos and posts and whatever that can be so helpful. So you don't have to wait till you know, find the perfect therapist to start your mental health help journey. That's not to say like therapy can't play a huge role in that, obviously. And especially if you have experienced super severe trauma or just anything really, you know, sometimes it's just you need that professional guidance in getting through that. But again, there are things you can do now. My camera freaking died, but we're still gonna go through these questions, okay? So the next one is thoughts on hookup culture. I've shared my thoughts before, and honestly, y'all, I just really feel like hookup culture, I just saw a really good TikTok about this too last night, so I'll try to find it. But I just really feel like in this society, hookup culture does not benefit women, bro, because I just feel like a lot of the times men just don't really see women as people, and they're not having like an equal experience. I heard it once before, I've probably said it in a video, but often casual is seen as something men do to women rather than with women. And I feel like that really sums it up. I've talked about, you know, being celibate on my podcast and stuff, and just how a lot of women, at least on my For You page, and it's, you know, the spaces I'm in online and whatnot, a lot of women seem to be moving towards that. We're single because it's like, bro, like, what am I gaining? Like, I'm not gaining anything. So yeah, it's not something I'm partaking. So yeah, there's nothing inherently wrong with casual, but it's just like the current conditions of our society and the way that so many men, especially in our demographic, our age group, are like, again, that's not to say all, but you know, because of patriarchy, it is a systemic thing and like belief system, basically, how we get treated as a result of that. And often how we're treated, especially in casual encounters, is not the best. Which brings me to my next question somebody asked, which was favorite parts about being single. What's that like Michael, not to be like, oh my god, I love The Office, but what's that like Michael Scott quote, like, my favorite thing about being single is you can just wake up every morning with so much opportunity. Basically that. No, but it is nice to have that freedom in the sense of like, I can kind of do whatever I want. Not in like a, bro, this is the thing. Like, if you say that to a guy, like, oh, why are you single? Like, they just assume you're like sleeping around, like entertaining a million different guys. And it's like, bro, that's not the case. Even if it was, like, why do you care? But like, I'm thinking of planning a trip, and just like the fact that I can do that without having to take someone else's, I don't know, life into consideration in that way, or like plan around that, or like, I don't know, like, not to say that would be an inconvenience if it was with somebody that, you know, I cared about, but like, it is nice to just kind of experience that kind of freedom and just like do what I want. And I just feel like until I find the right person, I'm not gonna like settle. No offense. And that's the thing, it's like hard to date and like find the right guy when you're smart. Like, and I mean that in the sense of like when you're focusing on healing and when you're learning about things like patriarchy and misogyny and feminism, and you just kind of realize like how many men are emotionally immature and manipulative and don't respect women, and you just see through all the bullshit. Dude, especially with my brain fully developing, like, I just realize so much, and I'm just able to spot bullshit like so much quicker. So let me know if you're single and you can relate. But I'm not like, bro, it's like, is being in a relationship the goal? Because, you know, also girls that like are just people that like are always in a relationship, And as soon as they're out of a relationship, they're in another one. It's like, how do you even find the people? Why are we not talking about that? You know, like, not to deflect, but like, I'm genuinely curious. Where are you finding these people? How do you want to be in a relationship with so many different people that you like meet? Especially the bitches that it's like they never left their hometown. How do you do it? Where are you finding them? Just rotate them out. Like, I'm not kidding. Somebody asked what to do if you catch your man listening to a male podcaster. Okay, there's like some male podcasts I will admit that are like good. No, don't take that out of context. Don't. Like, these guys never fail to bring a smile to my face, you know, every time they're on my For You page. So yeah, I think it would depend on who it was and like what the topic was. And I would definitely ask a lot of questions. Because that's the thing, like, a guy can honestly have like such horrible, violent opinions or beliefs about women, but still like be in a relationship to you and be a good boyfriend. Oh, well, he's nice to me, so he's a good guy. So yeah, I would just ask a lot of questions. Like, it's a little cringe, but it's like, there's a difference between like, oh, that's like cringy, and then like, does he like believe women are like less than men? You know, so ask a lot of questions. Someone asked about my thoughts on microdosing, and they said neurological stuff for mental health. I'm just like, I don't really know that much about it. I've never done any psychedelics. I've never, like, even as a microdose, like, I'm not interested in that. Okay. So sorry, but bro, like, I need to be in my right mind. I just want to feel normal. I already have too much anxiety. And like, people will be like, oh no, but like, it can help with that. And it's like, bro, I'm going to go into it with that mindset of like, this is gonna fuck me up and I'm gonna have a panic attack for 8 hours, you know? I know it's not what microdosing is or whatever, but like, I just wish it wasn't so like, or just psychedelics in general. So kind of a different conversation, but I just wish it wasn't so like, oh my God, you should do this. Bro, like the amount of people in high school that were just like doing psychedelics regularly, it's like, bro, your brain is not developed. And then there's the whole thing too of like men doing shrooms and like experiencing empathy for the first time, and like they just think it's so, and like, this isn't to say you can't have a profound experience, and I wouldn't know, but just that specific vibe of like a man doing it and then like wanting to explain to you how, oh my God, what I do affects other people. It's like, oh, so it's just like, it annoys me. And like, so sorry, like, that's not to discredit anyone. It's not something I'm interested in. I'm so over it. Bro, like that aesthetic of like a super just like earthy spiritual guy that just like loves to do shrooms, like that's like my like number one fear. That's my number one pet peeve. So annoying. Bro, you could just like read a book. You could go to therapy, bro. Like, I know we just talked about how it's like kind of hard to find a good one, but like I think even a bad one would be good at this point for you. That's kind of off the point of the original question, but I just have to say, like, I don't really know that much about it to like speak on it. I don't think I ever will. No offense. Not the girl that asked. Someone said, this is kind of like a mix of questions that I've already answered, but someone said thoughts on being single, or like how to stay single in the sense of like only focusing on yourself, working on yourself, healing, things like that. I honestly think the way to do it is celibacy. So get those toys, babe. Like, we need them. And yeah, I think it just depends. Like, whatever you want to do, like, do that. And I just saw a TikTok too of this dating coach talking about how viewing dating as like not something that you have an end goal with, like, oh, I want to get married, oh, I want like the perfect relationship or whatever, but dating to gain experience and like just, I don't know, to learn what you like and what you don't like, and like just honestly to have like funny lols. That's not what they said, but like I would add that. It's like low-key a healthier way to date because you are like learning and like, I don't know, doing an analysis of the date, which I mean, I'm sure a lot of us do that anyway. But yeah, so just like listen to yourself. If you really just want to take a break from dating and focus on yourself, do that. I honestly think this time of year is a great time to do that because it's fucking cold. If you're not booed up by now, better just work on yourself to the new year. And yeah, I do think there's like a lot to be said about like the amount of shit you can get done for yourself or do for yourself just in terms of like self-growth and I don't know, maybe your fitness journey or your small business journey or your TikTok star journey, I don't know, or your school journey, when you don't have like distractions of not even dating, but just like all the bullshit that comes along with that, you know, we're like dealing with someone toxic or like, you know. So that's not to say like, oh, I will never date again. Life isn't all about like capitalism and healing, but like, but it's like if that's genuinely something you want to do or you feel like you need to do. Dude, you know what's so amazing? I saw this clip of Glorilla talking about how she came up and how she first really came up. I don't know if it was this year that she was talking about it, but she was like, me and my friends basically randomly, you know, decided like we're gonna do, I don't know if it was 30 or 60 days of like no boys, no alcohol, no partying, and just like completely focused. And within that time period is when her song blew up. So it really goes to show. And it's not to say like, oh, I can never have fun again, but like life goes in cycles, and sometimes you need a cycle of just like focusing on yourself and being single in the sense of like, I'm not talking to nobody, I'm going to the gym and doing my whatever it is you need to do, you know? So yeah, I think it's completely normal. And for all you bitches that keep jumping from relationship to relationship, maybe you need to take that into account. Okay, sweetie? Okay, last question I'm going to answer because I'm getting starving is, this girl said, how to not be paranoid of getting pregnant even when using condoms. Babe, go on birth control. Like, if you're that paranoid, go on birth control. And also learning your cycles, because there's times of the month, you know, where you are fertile. I think you're only ovulating 1 or 2 days out of the month. I think you really only ovulate for like an hour or something, but the sperm can like live in you for up to 5 days. So that's why it's important to know when you're fertile, when you're premenstrual, when obviously you're on your period, and that can just tell you a lot. And you can do different methods like with a thermometer and taking your temperature every morning. Look up the basal thermometer method. But if you really are that paranoid, sis, like just go on birth control if it's really causing you that much stress. And also maybe like do a meditation, get into meditation and other anti-anxiety techniques, because if you're really fixating on it that much all the time, like, I mean, yeah, obviously be cautious and use protection and like whatever, but like at a certain point you just gotta, I've done what I can do. Obviously there's risks in partaking in activities like this. Same goes with like STIs, you know, like, yeah, we take precautions, but if you are partaking, there's always going to be that risk. So you just have to like either accept that, maybe you should go on birth control and like an anti-anxiety type thing. I mean, I really recommend CBD. Educate yourself, you know your body, and then it's like, that's between God. That's God's deal at this point. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for this iPhone, like appreciating this iPhone. I mean, not that you're appreciating it, but thank you for enduring this iPhone switch up as well. Let me know if you want more videos like this, and you can definitely look forward to more vlogs. Don't forget to check out Honeyplaybox, linked down below, and share this video on your story so I can see who watched, and leave a comment down below with your thoughts on anything we talked about. Love you guys so much, and I will talk to you next time.